I started work on a station as a 6-year-old. Um, at that time, I used to I was getting paid maybe £5 a month, and this included getting ration. Where all of us, those of us who were working, I'd go to the store, stamp my finger down, I'd get my tobacco, tea and sugar, toothpaste, bit of flour, things like that, and even blankets. At some months we'd get for the winter. The store would provide this for us. I was only a child that I never quite worked as hard as those people have, but I've seen what Aboriginal people endured, lived under, mostly like part of the stock. Like you worked, no work, you go over sleep now till you're ready to work again. All this and that.
Can I ask you what you think about the Northern Territory intervention and what you think's behind this agenda?
This intervention, there's so many programs put out by successive government nearly every decade on a pretense of, or if I can use that word, of helping Aboriginal people, but really to contain you. This intervention, to me, what it's saying is no more what we lived back in those days, like taking control of your money, on a thing about helping children, but really, like breaking them up. The intervention, what it's on about, it's like to control, to hold people, how far you can succeed.
You said earlier that at the end of the 1960s and 70s, Aboriginal people were told that they were going to have a future.
I experienced it in 1966 on the station. Everyone was excited. We were allowed to use knife and fork. Gonna be this, gonna do this. The people being sent to school, going away to school. I myself was sent to school. We had all these things. We're gonna be this, we're gonna that. We've had this feeling we're gonna be successful. We like rock and roll, this and that.
What's happened since
it never went anywhere. It doesn't matter. There's many Aboriginal people who have really been educated. They've never followed it up, because really there's nothing there for Aboriginal people. You hear constantly about health, about education. I'm educated in a way, as I've said to you before, about a lot of things. It hasn't took me anywhere. And
why do you think that is?
Because if you're Aboriginal or you continue to hold your value, keep it, that's where you stay. I can't go to this organisation and say, sir, I'd like to use the law to acquire this and that. No, I can't. It's just nothing there. This intervention is all rubbish. It's not going to help nobody but keep us down more.
What sort of jobs are there here for young people in Tennant Creek?
Well, what I see, mate, there's a lot of things starts up, even though it's Aboriginal co-owned or whatever like that. Aboriginal people, young people, don't benefit from out of that. It goes to somebody else like that. It's a management that I didn't. We're on CDP. My son is on CDP, and as far as he'll go. Hopefully he might get more jobs, somebody give him, but otherwise they stay in these little groups like that. They tell us now, the government, that it's everything all right now, you can work and you'll get this and that and all this encouragement, whether we'll soon see if that's true. That racism there, it'll be there all the time unless the government make truly strong laws to deal with things like that, to deal with police. At the moment, though, it stands there, everything on the white people's side. If I get attacked here, I can't go to the police and say, look, I've been assaulted. They'll listen to me and they'll say, we investigated this, go on till I forget about it. Nothing will be done. I always said to my son or any other young Aboriginal people, don't get too carried away and fooled that you're up there, you this and that your work or your place is rock solid. It can be cut out of you any time.
A lot of Aboriginal people in the last elections voted against Howard, against the intervention.
We all did.
And they voted for Labor.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, the Labor Party's now in power.
He's no different. I've always looked at the Labor Party. This is the party he'll help us. He's there for us, But it has changed dramatically. This Labor Party is not very friendly at all. What
sort of facilities are in Tennant Creek for young people?
There's really nothing there. I think the racism that is there, these younger people can see it more. They know they're not welcome there. they can't go to a hotel, they can't do this. There's no place for Aboriginal young people, really. You can't keep blaming Aboriginal people for the social failure. We just, like I said, we mostly kept people. It's the government and its partner need to come into a mutual partnership with Aboriginal people.
What do you think is the future for your grandchildren? What sort of future do you think they're going to have?
I said to my son, we're in big trouble, mate. So, I've spoken out to governments before for the future of my children and grandchildren, that they have a different life, better life, and that the thing is truly better. But this year, it's going to be no good. We're going to go backward.